What is up to the transparency? Come on in. Documents that you guys have been waiting to see.
Listen, folks, I know there's a history here. I'd like to get this hearing in today. You know, everybody needs to just focus on the relevant facts, okay? I know there's a history here.
Are you talking up by Sunset Mart? Up the hill by the gas station?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you?
Queen Liv, crime being solved in this case.
Right.
We're about to solve this
Who's
case.
responsible here? Who's responsible here? Whose house is this?
Yeah, I've been drinking or anything, right?
No.
Okay, drive careful, okay?
Thank you.
Again, welcome to the transparency. Come on in. I got a lot to show you.
Oh, really? You just ditched it? Awesome.
Yeah, those ones kept walking in the car.
It's truly for the win.
It's a good one. Shirley's for the win. Come on in. Doctor, where have you been? Good to see you. It's good to be seen. Come on in. Hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. You're going to have an opinion. Make yourself known.
Okay. They all knew about it.
Whew.
We're not here to talk about the alcohol stuff, okay?
Okay, yeah.
But this is the second noise complaint we've had here tonight within 2 hours.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Is this your place?
Yeah.
Perfect. You know why we're here?
And ice noise.
Noise, yeah.
Yeah.
Big speaker right there.
Yeah.
Nothing against having a party. Once neighbors start calling in, then we have an issue.
Like brains.
All right, guys, what is up? Welcome to the transparency. Gonna get right into it. Back a while ago, I put a huge FOIA request in, huge, in the Brian Drake case, but also some other stuff that like scattered around it. So I want to tell you guys that I was first responded to by Kathy Walk, because she wanted me to make sure that my spelling was correct on some of the names that I was asking for. So I double checked that, and then what I went ahead and did is I made her a nice, organized, boom, this is everything I want. And now Kathy Walk works for the Boundary County, I don't know, she works for Boundary County. After Kathy Walk got back to me, I then was met with the district attorney emailing me. The prosecutor of Boundary County emailing me. I guess prosecutor, the head honcho over there, wants to take care of all of my requests. So check this out. This is what I was asking for. All right. We're going to add this right there. So correction spelling for Kathy Walk here. I want all 911 and non-emergency calls made by Isaac James Funderburg between March 9th, 2020 and March 13th, 2020. Isaac lived above the Les Schwab building on Main Street. All 911 and non-emergency calls made by Aaliyah Sandlin between same dates. Aaliyah lived above the Les Schwab building on Main Street. All 911 and non-emergency calls made by Misty Olson from this number between said dates. Misty worked at 6811 Main Street and had called in about a homeless transient man living behind the building on the side of the building with a blue tarp. Marty Ryan responded on Tuesday, March 10th, 2020, according to an interview that Misty Olson gave to police when interviewed in connection with the Brian Drake homicide. The following requests pertain to incident number 02-2020-00106. All body cam footage from Mike Venezuela, badge number 1510. I would like all cell phone photos taken by Mike Venezuela, all communication by Mike Venezuela, and dispatch CAD notes, all written reports by Mike Venezuela, and his clock in and clock out timestamps for 03/12/2020. Next up is I want all body cam footage from Travis Stolley, 1506. Travis Stolley, welcome, Travis Stolley. I just sent him a Facebook message. He is going to be your new sheriff. Are you fucking kidding me? No gloves, Travis Stolley. Welcome to the sheriffhood. Wow. I congratulated him and said, "Hey, now that you're going to be sheriff, do you think that maybe you can uncover the truth in the Brian Drake homicide?" And asked him if he had any comments. Again, I was looking for Travis Stolley. I would like his cell phone photos taken by Travis Stolley's personal device, all communication by Travis Stolley, dispatch CAD notes, all written reports by Travis Stolley, and the clock in and clock out time stamps for his 3/12/2020 date. Again, the following requests pertain to this incident, so that's why it's like this. I would like all body cam footage from Brandon Johnson, number 65, Bonners. This would be Bonners Ferry Police. All cell phone photos taken by Brandon Johnson's personal device. All communication by Brandon Johnson and dispatch CAD notes. All written reports by Brandon Johnson. I would like all cell phone calls and texts from his personal phone that was used while on duty on 3/12/2020. Body cam worn by Brandon Johnson himself shows that he used his personal device to make phone calls and text messages pertaining to this incident, as well as took numerous pictures. According to Idaho policing policy, these photos need to be uploaded to your system. Also, any phone being used in an incident is part of the incident, and so therefore public requestable under Idaho policing policy. Clock in and clock out timestamps from 3/12/2020. Next up is all body cam footage from Caleb Watts, 1508. All cell phone photos taken by Caleb Watts' personal device. All communication by Brandon Johnson. Whoops, that was to say, that was a typo. Hopefully she got it. Hopefully she understood that typo. All written reports by Caleb Watts. Next up is Marty Ryan. All body cam footage, Marty Ryan. Clock in and clock out timestamps, really important. All communication with dispatch. All pictures, texts, and phone calls made in connection with this incident due to the fact that Marty Ryan's personal cell phone called victim's wife's cell phone at 9:06 p.m. without possibly having that phone number prior to this incident. So all communication in which how Marty Ryan was able to obtain this phone number. All written reports by Marty Ryan. All communication with Marty Ryan's personal cell phone to include a call log and text log of his phone from 3/12/2020 beginning at 6 a.m. until 3/13/11:59 p.m. CAD notes indicates that Marty Ryan was to be contacted through his cell and not radio. This was also heard on Brandon Johnson and Alan Schleff's worn body cam during the incident, as well as other reports that have been reviewed within this incident report. Marty Ryan interviewed Isaac Funderburg on the evening of 3/12/2020 with Mike Venezuela's body cam being used to document it. Marty Ryan indicated that he was drinking that night during the interview, as this interview was transcribed by police. The only discrepancy with this interview comes when comparing the timestamp of the body cam and the statements made by the cameraman, Mike. When Mike made it a point to verbally state the date and time of the interview. So can this discrepancy be cleared up as to what time this actual interview took place on 3/12/2020 next door to the Far North Coffee Lodge between Marty Ryan and Isaac Funderburg? And can it be cleared up if the body cam time is actually the right time due to daylight savings time being around the time of this incident? And actually daylight savings was on 3/6, just for you guys to know this. This is why I have a hard time understanding why the body cams wouldn't be right. Daylight savings was on 3/6/2020. Okay. How could an incident with a body cam, how could your body cam that long not be changed? The body cams worn by the police officers are 1 hour ahead of when they say that it actually happened. It was like somebody didn't turn them back, they're trying to say. Well, I asked for body cam of a separate incident that was days before this one to see what the body cam said. They wouldn't give it to me. The following morning, Marty Ryan, on the morning of 3/13/2020, visited Leah Sandlin for another brief witness statement, but more importantly, shown pictures to make an identification of the male that she saw running the night of the incident by Drake's building after she heard the gunshot. So all body cam written report, photos shown, cell phone recordings, or pictures taken by Marty, or this is going to be Caleb Watts, because that's who truly was involved also with Marty. Dispatch CAD notes associated with visit to Leah Sandlin and the dash cams. All body camera footage from Jason Terulio. All cell phone photos taken, all communication, all written reports. All body cam footage from Dale Anderson. All body cam footage from William Cowell, baby. Come on down, baby. Chief of police now. Woo! You in the hot seat, man. You are out of your mind. You know that rap song? Get out of your mind. All written reports by Cal. All communications between Cal and dispatch to include recordings. All recorded communication between Cal and Jennifer motherfucking Drake. Because in this interview that took place on 3/14/2020, I uncovered William Cowell said that, first of all, he wasn't working that night, but that Marty Ryan was working nonstop, round the clock, blah, blah, blah. That would be a lie, because the first person that Brandon Johnson called was none other than Willie Cowell. But more importantly, Willie Cowell is seen all up and down the CAD notes working some shit. All right. In this interview with Jennifer Drake, Willie Cowell here says 2 people called 911 before you did, Jennifer. Not just one, meaning Isaac Funderburg. 2. And I found the second person. I want that call. Where is that call? What time was that call? The cell phone tower record, the tower dumps that y'all did from 7 to 8, it should have 2 911 calls on that motherfucker. One being Isaac Funderburg, if his call was between 7 and 8 p.m., and the other belonging to Erickson. And I found the Erickson one. Where is Isaac Funderburg's 911 call on the cell towers? Now, all body cam footage from Alan Schlepp. When I'm saying all body cam footage, the reason I'm saying this is because just because I have a little snippet of it, I promise you that there is way more body cam out there from this night. Promise you. All cell phone photos taken by Schlepp's personal device. I saw him take a photo in part of the body cam that I have. Okay. All cell phone and text messages by Schlepp's personal device on 3/12/2020 while on duty. All written reports, and this is why. Schlepp's body-worn camera was shut off right before Mike Venezuela was about to describe an incident that he responded to in the morning of 3/12/2020 at the same address. Mike Venezuela explained that he printed off what would be a 9:30 a.m. report that he wrote up that he responded to that morning at that location, and that it was in his comp-issued car. This is the incident that I do not have a number for, that I am seeking that number and the report as well as the call, the 911/non-emergency call, from this incident that called out officers that morning. I am inquiring about what Mike Venezuela believed was relevant that took place at the same area after a call came in around 9:30 a.m. Why I am very, very interested in this is because the scheduled appointment that Drake had at that time was with none other than Zinfandel Ponce, married to Joel Ponce. Joel is the Les Schwab manager. Okay. And he turned over some footage. But more importantly, both of these two were patients of Drake. And if there was any incident, it was interesting that it was during that alleged time. Kind of want to talk about that. And because none other than Victor Ponce, he's the one with that Solero, whatever you want to call it, Camry, the black that used to be the gold, and on video. And it looks like that is the car that catches air at 6:52 p.m. And that's his cousin. And the grandmother, Maria Gomez, lives right behind Drake's building where this car was being kept. Now, why this is oh so interesting is there's a ton more, is because Brian Drake was not just doing chiropractic work out of his office. Brian Drake was providing massages. How do I know that? Well, I'm going to show you how I know that. When Brian Drake would hurt himself and have to have surgery, he would tell all of his patients, hey, I'm not going to be, this is what happened. I had to have surgery. And so I won't be able to see you for whether it's a week or however long. So right here, you have to read up. Hi there. I'm sorry to say that I slipped and fell awkwardly on ice last evening, and I found out my ankle is broken in 3 places. Okay? Sends out a message. Zinfandel Ponce here. Says, oh my goodness, I am sorry to hear that. Again, remember, this is after the slip and fall. This would just be a month before his murder. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry to hear that. Get better soon. Do you have any suggestions for a massage, since you will probably be out for a bit? Not somebody that, I don't know, a chiropractor. She wants massages. And then Katie, over at Rawlings Counseling Building. Now, how do you think Emma Fields feels about this? Where you at, all you massage therapists who are trading off goods with Brian Drake? Well, who's Katie? Because that ain't none of your guys' names. Oh, so just call that office? Yes, just call that office. So just to turn in a little bit, all of you guys that were trading services with Brian Drake, and he's supposed to be referring patients to you guys. Well, guess what? Brian Drake is referring them over here to Katie over at the Rawlings Counseling Building. So there's that for you. Now, we've been discussing how ridiculous, how absolutely ridiculous the investigation has gone in this case. Idaho State Police, like, what the hell are y'all doing, right? Well, I want to show you guys some stuff. Oh, by the way, this lovely, amazing Foia that I did. This was done, I'm talking like months ago. I'm talking like maybe February or March of 2024. So how long has that been? Okay. And so this got the attention of none other than the damn prosecutor, Boundary County, baby. She's like, whoa, 80 now. This is all, we don't even have this stuff. We're not in possession of it. I said, and then it's an ongoing case, blah, blah, blah. And I said, what the fuck is so ongoing about Misty and any of her calls that would have happened? How does this have any relation, what I'm asking for? So you're saying any call that Misty would have made on 3-9 has something to do? Any call that Isaac Funderburg would have made? Okay. I want the damn reports of this. There is no way that you can be possibly denying me. You can maybe deny me of the contents of it. Okay. But you cannot deny me this report to say if this fucking thing exists. How? How can anything that I'm asking for on 3-9 be affiliated with this fucking murder? Because if that is the truth, then it has nothing to do with Dan Moore, does it? And same with him and her and it. What's going on here? Misty worked at this address. There was an incident on 310. How does this incident on 310 have anything to do with this murder? And it's an ongoing investigation of a transient man? Well, that's interesting, because then why isn't it in the defense? Why isn't it in the prosecution discovery? If that would have anything to do with this case, if you discovered that, okay, you must turn that shit over. Y'all are going like, y'all are nuts. Y'all have lost your minds. Okay. I may wear a hoodie and have a backwards hat, but I will tell you one thing that I am not. I am not a fucking moron, and I am not dumb. Not by any stretch. So there you go. Doing my own little digging here. Let's talk about now Rich Alderson. So I've given you guys so much shit about Leslie Lehman, right? Leslie. Well, Leslie became a detective in 2018. This was her first murder case. Okay. As a detective. Leslie Lehman. Well, let's really talk about, Leslie's just going with the flow. Okay. And almost every report, Leslie's tied up with Rich Alderson. Well, Rich was born in Hawaii. No fucking way, really? Eldora Gatchel, Hawaii. Eldora Gatchel, Hawaii. All right. And raised in Alabama by wonderful parents who, prior to planting his family in North Idaho, Richard lived all across the United States. These travels have enabled him to engage with a myriad of cultures and worldviews. Really? These interactions developed an intense passion for apologetics, defending the Christian faith. Richard was honored to join ABC as a volunteer pastor associate in 2017. Okay. And he currently leads the children's ministry. Get out. Come on. Children's ministry. Well, who else is leading the children's ministry of shit? Well, that'd be Stephen Minert. Okay. That'd be Logan. Let's see. that would be, let's see how dumb these people are. Okay. Scammer Steven. Let's talk about Scammer Steven here. 2/15/2020. So after Brian has his surgery on 2/10, so Brian has leg surgery on 2/10. Okay. You got to read up. Sent from Brian Drake. Bring over some beer. We can have together while you're here. This is to Stephen Menard at 1:05 p.m. 2:15. 1:05 and 41 seconds. So 31 seconds later, on it like a pool boy. LOL. Michelob Ultra ? 1:05 and 49 seconds. 8 seconds later. Sure. Okay. Where was Jennifer Drake when Brian, after having surgery, she said, he was with me all the time and he's not on my side. Well, the kid, Stephen Menard, who's driving your kids around as your little freaking babysitter, he is going to, Brian says, pick up beer. Okay. Were you not home, Jennifer? That's going to be a really big damp in your civil case, isn't it? Woo! For those of you guys that are possibly representing Dr. Moore out there, let me know if you want any of these for exhibits. Next up, what else we have here? Well, tell them what they want, Johnny. Next is, we just heard yesterday about an incident at Silverwood. You guys are going to shit. An incident at Silverwood where there was Mick Butler was talking about going to some magic show and that they saw that Brian Drake and his wife were there and they were being all weird. Remember all that shit? Okay. Well, guess what I pull out of my hat? I'm going to dock this up. Handy dandy whiteout. Comes in handy every now and again. Okay. Well, here we go. Tatiana, come on down. Tatiana, hottie toddy, come on down here. Take a look at the date here. It is 2017. Making my way to the magic show. Outgoing. From making my way to the magic show. Jennifer Drake texting Tatiana. Okay. It's on repeat for some reason. The magic show. They're at Silverwood. Don't get on without me. I'm headed your way. Don't get on that ride without me. August 25th, 2017. So guess what? We're going to go ahead and tell Mick Butler, you aren't a liar, Mickey. There you go, buddy. Went ahead and found that proof for you. There you go. Next up. So we were at the something KK frog jumper. Can we give some appreciation to Hector? Sure can. Next up. All right. Now, Okay. Now, I told you guys, I believe that we may have found our swingers. All right. I wanted to get a membership. I really want to go to the White Rose or whatever it's called, right? So I how about our annual festive night at the resort next Tuesday night, the 19th? How does that sound? Sounds like a plan. We miss you too. It's on the calendar. See you at 7 p.m. Now, I called some of my friends that are just fun as fuck. And I said, if you were like, swapping and swinging, and what would you call your night that you were hanging out with your crew like that? What would you call that? And they said, why the fuck are you asking us this shit? Are you becoming a swinger, Lana? I'm like, no, don't you need like a partner with you to swing? How does that work? They said everybody has code words, I'm sure. I'm like, do you guys have code words? Like, what is it? Like, what is it? What are your code words? Then I just said to myself, Tuesday night, December 19th, who's watching these kids? All right, here we go. How about our annual festive night at the resort next Tuesday night, the 19th, 7 p.m.? Never had a code word? Don't know. Well, I had to do some digging into it because, Lana, you're crazy. Why would you say that? Well, because her husband says that he misses Jennifer. And Jennifer got super pissed one time when they had plans to meet out. And Tatiana, the last minute, says, we're not meeting out with you guys. And she's like, wait, what? Are you serious? We had plans. What's going on? Are you mad at me? What'd I do? Oh my God, are you mad at me? And I'm like, oh my God, come on. I was like, come on now. So let me find that one. Here it is. Tatiana. Incoming. How are you? Question mark, question mark. What is new in your life? Question mark, question mark. My husband is missing you. ... Woo, Lana, you find all the good shit, don't you? Yeah, Lana, I do. Well, someone just says, hey, put it in context for me. Tell me what the fuck this could possibly mean. My husband is missing you. ... Well, I think that's weird. Okay? I think that is extremely weird. Why would, take a look. There you go. Tatiana, come on down. Now again, it's 2017. Getting things heated over here. How are you? What is new in your life? My husband is missing you. ... Ha! All is great. This is Jen. Ha! All is great, except we are still renting. We miss you too. And I miss Ed. Wiki face. Now, remember I said, how in the world does somebody go from bouncing checks like every other day? How is income today? I still can't get my Quicken to work, and it looks like there are 2 insurance payments that bounced yesterday, and I don't understand why. It's gave us a $50 bank fee, and now I've got to take care of it with the bank. I am so aggravated I could cry. Does that sound like somebody that can just go and purchase a new house and 2 new vehicles all within a year? If you can't even, I don't know, you're bouncing checks that you can, boom. So you're bouncing checks and you're over here looking for a house. It says she did not. My only guess would be 430 to 435,000 maybe, as they kind of balked at 425K verbally. So explain this to me, how you are bouncing checks and at the same time looking for a house with your realtor, and the house ranges is 4 to 450. Does anybody want to explain that to me? So if I am asking my husband why the fuck we're bouncing checks, because how is the income today? You're living literally day by day. How is the income? How are your, with the patients that you're seeing? Because then he would then send out messages and say, hey, do you need to get an adjustment? You need to get this. Okay. So here, right here, how is income today? I still can't get in my quick into work, and look, like there are 2 insurance payments that bounced yesterday. In the same breath, she is then talking to her realtor down here and putting in offers on homes for $400,000 to $425,000. Explain that to me. Okay? Can't explain it. My only guess would be 430, 435K maybe, as they kind of balked at 425 when it was verbally mentioned. Okay, up in the receipts, baby. Now Stephen Minner, he was, he went running for the hills. Stephen Minner. Never questioned by police, literally babysat the Drake kids. And have you ever paid a babysitter and you just give them cash? Have you ever paid a babysitter cash? I know I've paid my babysitter cash, right? Well, I've never done this with my babysitter. So tell me if I'm missing something here. When they got home from a trip that Stephen watched the kids for in October 2018, let's see. Instead of paying Stephen, I guess with the cash, well, them, like, I don't know, cash. Stephen requested, Stephen, you preferred that we send you your support check to you via mail. I can't do that without your address. Support check? Who the fuck calls babysitting kids a support check? Stephen, you preferred that we send your support check to you via mail. I can't do that without an address. And then he provides it. Thanks. Support check. That is what babysitting was referred to, a support check. Or like literally, they had just gotten back from a vacation where Stephen watched the kids, okay? And support check? Does this have something to do with supporting him going over to wherever, Uganda, wherever the fuck he went? Now going back to August, 2 days after the Drakes would go to Silverwood and be at the magic show, and fucking Brian's just rubbing on everybody's asses, and I don't know. Brian texts Jen and says, the license for my browser on my phone has expired, and the email needs internet to sign the papers. I will try on my business phone and see if I can do it. This is when I got full-fledged proof that Brian was being monitored with his Google browsing use and couldn't get on things because of his porn addiction, right? He needed to sign papers in 2017. And she says, did you sign this? Not yet. Still setting up for the day. Okay. He said noon would be good. He has not looked at the contract yet. He said he will do it very soon. This is Jen talking to the realtor. Okay, but submit offer after he signs, correct? Yes. Okay. Then she texts Brian, and Brian's like, listen, the license for my browser on my phone has expired. What is a license on a browser? What is that about? Have you ever heard such a thing? And she writes, he says, I will try on my business phone and see if I can do it. She doesn't write, what the hell are you talking about? She knows exactly what he's talking about. She says, okay. I would be like, the license for my browser on my phone has expired. I would be writing my significant other, what the fuck are you talking about? But she knows exactly what he's talking about because she says, okay. So Brian Drake couldn't get his the license for his browser expired. Think about that for a second, guys. Think about that. Welcome to the wonderful wild, wild west over here. Okay. Now, I ask people, because I would think that this would be normal, do you ever think it's possible that, or have you ever loaned out your phone to your kids? Have your kids ever used your phone? Okay. Because the Idaho State Police seem to think that they think it's very, very possible with the way that they were questioning that Mick Butler guy about the whole phone. And, you know, well, maybe did you ever give your son your phone and then you would leave? Shit like that. Well, I can tell you for a fact, that the Drake's oldest son, Brenner, used not only his mom's cell phone to text his friends, but in 2017, he physically had his dad's work cell phone on him when he wasn't with his parents and going off and doing something. And it's proof right here. Brenner saying, we are pulling in on our way. I was dismissed and I'm waiting in the hallway. Never mind, that was for Mary. Did you know I am done now? Okay. So, and this happens all the time. So I'm just curious. the day that Brian of the murder, when Brian called Brenner's phone and talked for 7 to 9 minutes. It never happens like that. And so did you have to do that, Brian Drake? Because they switched phones, or I mean, why? Jennifer has her phone right there. She's texting people. Now, going back to Stephen Minert. Stephen Minert, right after the murder, man, he gets out of Dodge. He was never interviewed by the police, or if he was, it's been never made known to anybody. And yet this is crazy because Stephen Minert was with and allegedly with Jennifer Drake's at least one boy at Lostology speaking. Okay. And then the first text message and call that's not family, and it happens right after 7:41, is to Stephen Minert, who doesn't answer. Then he texts back and says, "Can I call you back later?" And she's like, "No, now." And then she says, "Can you walk away from the house? Can you walk away from the house?" Well, Jennifer, if you were at the house until past 8 o'clock, why would you need to even be calling Stephen Minert if he's at your house, honey baby? Boom! The bombshells are coming. Holy shit, Jennifer Drake, you are in so much timeline trouble, honey. Your text message saying, "Walk away from the house," okay, and call me. That's going to be so problematic for you. So problematic for you. You do not talk to Amber Van Ling until 8:07 when she calls you back, because you tried to call her at 7:51. She doesn't answer. You text her, "Can you please call me?" She calls you at 8:07. You couldn't have. Now, if you in fact were at home, like you claim, you would have been at home until Amber called you back, because then you go to Amber's house. But not till way after 8:07. So what in the living fuck are you gonna do now, Jennifer? Ah! Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh shit! Wait a second. What? Huh? What? Huh? Yeah. You called the police at 7:29. 911. What's your emergency? "Oh my God, I'm at home. Oh my God." Then they transfer you. 4 minutes later. But during that time, you have a butt dial with your real phone, and your real phone calls Brian at 7:32. Explain that one. How you could be on the phone with your cell phone, but your actual motherfucking cell phone called Brian while you were on the phone with the police. Explain that one. Gonna be a problem. Oh, but by the way, there's no 911 record of you ever calling Kootenai County dispatch and then patching you through. There's no record on your phone of ever making that call, and there's no record of Kootenai County having that call. Again, explain that to the jury for them to believe. But you then call your parents, but then at 7:41, you call Stephen Minert. Stephen Minert declines your call. He texts you back and says, "Can I call you later?" And you say, "No, now. Walk away from the house and call me." Oh, fuck, you are so screwed. Jennifer, where's Stephen Minert? At your house, right? So if he's at your house and you want him to walk away from the house, then where the fuck are you, Jennifer? Where are you? I'm done sugarcoating shit. I'm asking questions because this is sick. Walk away from whose house? Stephen Minert was there, wasn't he? At your house. You were asked, did you leave? Were your kids home when you left to go, driving off to Bonner's Ferry like you claimed? But your daughter was there with you. You just left your daughter by yourself? And Stephen Minert wasn't there? You just left your little daughter alone? No. This is so amazing. But like I said, I'm just done sugarcoating shit. How could Stephen Minert never be interviewed? How could Amber Van Ling not be interviewed? But more importantly, she was ducking being interviewed. There was cops that showed up at her house, at Jennifer Drake's house, and Amber Van Ling runs, literally hides from the popo. How do I know this? Because I have the report. That's how. Explain that one. Jennifer Drake says, is it Jennifer Drake that says that she went to Amber's house to pick up Amber and that they drove them to Bonner's Ferry? Because Amber Van Ling's husband says that, oh, right when Amber got the call, she went over to Jennifer's. Perfect. What are you talking about right when she got the call? Your wife called her not till 8:07. Okay? So I then did the math on how long it would take Amber motherfucking Van Ling to get in her car, drive over to the Drakes, okay? And then get into a vehicle and say, we're going to head, north. Why did Amber Van Ling's husband say that Amber Van Ling got a phone call at 7:30 when she never did? Amber Van Ling did not talk to Jennifer Drake at 7:30. You guys using burner phones? Can't wait for that. Was she telling him to walk away and go somewhere his wife couldn't hear him? No, honey. You're not understanding there. Okay. Steve Minert is supposedly teaching a class with the Drake's kid other than Brenner. Jennifer Drake is texting Brenner saying, make sure you get a picture with Steve and the other kid like you guys did with you guys. Make sure you're doing this. Make sure you record all this. Jennifer, why didn't you go to the Lostology performance? What were you doing that you couldn't go to the Lostology performance? You were just sitting at home with your daughter. And then how did your other kid get to the Croc? He went to the Croc to go play, what was it, basketball or soccer, Jennifer? Which one was it? Because you messed it up. It's a pretty big difference. Where'd you have lunch that day, Jennifer? Why'd you talk to Brian on Brenner's phone for 7 or 9 minutes? Because I was with Brenner eating lunch. Yeah, but he called your phone first, and you talked to Brian for 3 minutes or 3 seconds. Then, because somebody said, "Oh, call her on Brenner's phone." Brian Drake never, ever, ever calls Brenner. They never text. They never do anything. They never talk to each other, nothing. But the day of the murder, Brian and Brenner have a 7 to 9 minute phone conversation. No, they didn't. No, Jennifer was using Brenner's phone to talk to him. How do I know this? Because I'm going with odds. I'm going with the odds. And it also helps in my odds that if you need to leave your cell phone, Jennifer, so that it's pinging off of a tower in Hayden and then it will come back like that your cell phone was there for whatever fucking reason. Who knows what the fuck you were doing. But why in the world, if you have your cell phone with you and you're eating lunch with your son and he has his cell phone and Brian calls you at 12:44, do you have a 3-second conversation, hang up, and then he calls Brenner's phone? And then y'all talk for 7 to 9 minutes. Explain that to the world because we're all waiting for that. That's going to be good. I cannot wait for that. Okay. Now, if Jennifer Drake is at home when she's talking to her husband from 7:17 to 7:24 p.m. at night, and then oh my God, I got hit through the window, blah blah blah, and then she hangs up to call 911. She has that call. Then she calls her mom. She calls her dad. Then she calls Stephen Minert. If she's at home, if Stephen Minert was at your motherfucking house, you wouldn't be calling him at 7:41, would you, Jennifer? No, you wouldn't. Okay, number one. Number two, you call him. He doesn't answer, and he pushes you. Then he texts you because he clicks you off. Then he texts you and says, hey, can I call you? Or, hey, can I call you back later or something? And you say, no, now. No. Call me now and walk away from the house. And the police never asked you what the fuck that meant. The police would have seen these text messages and said, no, now, and walk away from the house. So what does Steve do? What house would he be at? Lostology is at, you know where Lostology is, right? Lostology is done at the heart of the city, blah, 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 church, or in the basements of people's houses. But so are you going to sit here and try to say that Lostology, when it wasn't COVID yet and it wasn't shut down, that you guys did not have Lostology on 3/12/2020 at the church and it was someone's house? Because good luck with that one. That's not going to work either because I got you covered there too. Where were you, Jennifer? Where were you at 7:29 when you made that 911 call? I've never seen in all the years I've ever done this, covering any case, that a 911 call that someone says that they made is not recorded on a dispatch CAD. Fuck yeah, I'm hot and heated today. Ready? Gonna come with more of it. Why in the world? So Stephen Minner's not interviewed. Amber Van Ling isn't interviewed. How the fuck are these two people not interviewed? Neither is Jennifer Drake's daughter. How did you corroborate Jennifer Drake's fucking alibi? But you're going to call in a case like the Shanna Gardner. You pulled in her little kids, asked them what the hell happened after their dad was gunned down and shot. You're not asking any of these kids, especially the daughter who was at home supposedly with Jennifer. No, guys, they don't even ask Jennifer where she was at the time of the murder. Jennifer, where were you? What were you doing? I was sitting at home, staring at the wall. Did you make dinner for your family? Like, what did you do that day, Jennifer? What did you do? Were you out driving around picking up Craigslist items? Woo! The fuck out of here, man. Get out. Let me go grab. So this is what ends up happening is Jennifer then not only texts that to Stephen Minert, then Stephen Minert calls Jennifer back at 7:44. So they text at 7:41. He says, but they have a phone call at 7:44. Then there's another call, I believe, with her parents. Okay. And then, or I'm sorry. At 7:41, call me now. Welcome to the house. Call me now. They talk for like a minute. Then Brenner starts texting her. But then at 7:44, she receives a phone call at 7:44. And it is the Boundary County Sheriff's Department number wanting to tell Jennifer, hey, the medics are with your husband. they're with your husband, but the sheriff needs to know what Brian's cell phone number is. What is his cell phone numbers? Excuse me? And she's like, in her interview with the police, this is whether she was told to say this, whether this truly happened, but she says she gets an incoming call from Boundary County Sheriff's Dispatch, or it just says Boundary County Department. And she claims it's a woman and that she's saying, hey, the medics are with him. But the sheriff wants to know what his cell phone number is. And she says to the detectives when she's being, questioned, she's like, yeah, I thought it was really weird. They're calling me to tell me that the medics are with him. They couldn't tell me if he was alive or dead. They wouldn't tell me anything like that, but they just wanted to know what the sheriff wants to know what his cell phone number is. And then she's like, and if they're asking me that, then that means that I knew it was bad, because if Brian couldn't tell them what his cell phone number was, then something was bad. Well, I have so many things to say about this. Ready for the number one? The number one answer? Number one answer. Give it to me. Survey says Brian Drake was not even found yet at 7:44. So like the whole story right there is a lie to begin with. Brian Drake is literally not found, according to the CAD notes. According to the cameras that I fucking stalked for I don't even know how many hours. I probably put 1,000 hours into those cameras. They are not to Brian Drake's body yet. So there is no one that could have been, unless, like I said, if the medics say, there's all this chatter like, okay, here we're staged, we're waiting, but that wasn't there. In fact, there was none that were staged. There was none of that. That's why Mallory Stipich, the Boundary County Sheriff Dispatch, is so important in this case. She's no longer a cop anymore either, but she is alive, thank God. Mallory Stipich, come on down. What happened on that phone call? You know the Moore family. You know what that phone call at 7:44. Did you call Jennifer Drake and say those things? Because I don't think you did. But you may have said they want his cell phone number. I don't think that you would have said medics are with him, or maybe medics are on the way. Maybe you said that medics are on the way. We dispatched the medics. But now, why would they need his cell phone number? Okay. And then what ends up happening after that? It's a Karen Reed moment. They get off the phone. That was a 2-minute and 30-second conversation. 2 minutes and 30 seconds is a long time to have a conversation. It truly is. You can get a lot of shit in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And I'm telling you, asking somebody, hey, medics are with them. The sheriff just needs to know, do you have his cell phone number? What are his cell phone numbers? They're going to call his cell phone numbers. What? If the medics are with him, why do you need his cell phone numbers? What are you talking about? Okay. What are his cell phone numbers? What happens with Brian's phone at 7:47 and 7:48 p.m. after they get off that phone call? Brian Drake's phone receives calls. And what are you trying to do? You're trying to locate a phone that way. You're calling it to see if you could hear it ring, to see if you could hear it maybe vibrate. Here, what's his number? We'll call him. Let's see if he answers our call. We can't find him. What's your husband's number? Well, then, Jen, that doesn't make sense, because that's how you would have said it. Not that the medics are with him, right? So this is all happening, and Amber Van Leen has not been contacted yet. Okay. The text then goes out. Amber Van Leen is called by Jen's phone. She doesn't answer. Then she texts her and says, hey, Amber, can you call me when you get this? Then Amber calls Jen at 8:07 p.m. This would all indicate that Jennifer Drake is at home. That's what she is saying. She is at home because she did not leave. Okay. And she says what felt like hours. She's like, I couldn't just sit around anymore, so I had to leave. And that's what she's saying, like that she headed north to go up to Bonner's Ferry. Okay. But there's a huge problem with the story. And Jennifer Drake can try to say whatever the fuck she wants on how she's going to handle that when she's on the stand. But there's nothing that's going to corroborate anything that Jennifer Drake has to say. That's why I'm putting this all out here. Because she can't corroborate anything that she is going to say. Nope. To begin with, the dispatch in Bonner County, which is between like Sandpoint, that dispatch believes that Jennifer Drake, when she called 911, was hitting off of one of their towers that services Walmart. I have that on a recorded call. What, Lana? Yes. And that's why the dispatch didn't believe that it was a transfer call. They're like, what? Now, why all of this is important is because the Idaho State Police determined that Jennifer Drake was in Hayden, and they did nothing to determine that. Nothing. They didn't even look into the shit. Okay? Didn't even look into it. Now, Stephen Minert, here he is. License and certifications. Just updated his stupid little LinkedIn. OSHA 30-hour construction. This is the guy that was going around and preaching the word of our Lord to people in the poorest of poor countries. And missionary guy, okay? Issued July 2024. He moved to Tennessee, Middle Tennessee region of Associated General Contractors of Tennessee. He puts this in. He puts in backflow prevention and cross connection control. Environment and Conservation Tennessee Department, issued May 2022. Now wait for it. I about died. He went and got his United Truck Driving School license. Issued March 2024, expires March 2032. Are you ready for Lana's connection of a lifetime here? Because I don't think you are. What in the world does Steve Minner need to get his CDL and go to United Truck Driving School? Do you know how much money it costs to go to the school? It's like $5,000-$6,000. I looked all into it. I knew Miss Potts would start to listen up to what I'm about to show because you ain't ready for this. We're all trying to get into that human trafficking, drug trafficking. What the fuck are they doing in Idaho shit, okay? Well, this little twerp, Stephen Minner, Mechanical Standard Plumbing, North Idaho College. He's the owner of this new Mechanical Standard Plumbing Service Company, okay? And Stephen Minner now has a new phone number, okay? He's also updated this little lovely thing to say this is what he's doing. And I said, wait a second. I got something. On that. I said, what was the date on that shit? I said, no fucking way, man. Okay, check this out. Jennifer Drake's been a little busy woman. Up to some of her licensing. Now, Rich Alderson, one of the leads, pastor, okay, was born in Hawaii, raised in Alabama. It's really interesting. Pastor, he's with the children's ministry, okay. Stephen Minert was children ministry. Stephen Minner, in March of 2024, got his CDL, went to the United Truck Driving, and it expires 2032. Now, Jennifer Drake, in March of 2024, application for reinstatement. And this is the history of Brian Drake's Chiropractic LLC. Initial filing. See that? 2/23/2016. February 23rd, 2016. Articles of Incorporation. Drake Chiropractic of North Idaho. He didn't officially become this at that address, but he started up this. So that's, see the initial filing date. That's what this is. Annual report on that date, annual report on that date, annual report on that date. Annual report on that date was done literally right before, he just was about to have surgery. That was after his leg was crushed. Then dissolution, 5/5/2021, application for reinstatement. Why would you reinstate this? Woo! Why would you reinstate this LLC? Jennifer Drake's not a chiropractor. Then the same month that Steve Minner gets his driving United Truck Driving School commercial license. Okay. Then it's official. Back in biz. Drake Chiropractic of North Idaho. Registered agent, Brian Drake. Registered agent, Jennifer Drake. Brian Drake is dead. The name and street address of the new registered agent and office is, or in Idaho, is registered agent. So here's the new registered agent, Jennifer L. Drake. Then a year before that, Jennifer Drake files for a recent filing, Drake Initiative LLC. August 21st, 2023. And here's this one. Drake, and it's Jennifer Drake. This is proof that Jennifer Drake is 100% friends with Klaus, the guy that she said was a complete pedophile. That is current as of today. Hot off the press. So Jennifer Drake is Facebook friends with somebody that she says is involved in child pornography. Now let me enlighten the world here with some still photographs. All right, so Isaac Funderburg, when he was talking about some Impala, it was black, old. You guys remember? He's talking about like a Ford or like a old. He said he was talking to the Popo. I did some digging. Oh, that's right before they left. She's adding a Google line, by the way. So that's interesting with Steven. I already did that one, but I want to show you guys a car that I think is interesting. Oh, this is just, okay, this is for me to laugh. This is for me to laugh. Okay. Have you guys ever gone on vacation for 5 days, 4 days, okay, and decided to stop having mail delivered to your house because you're going on vacation for 5 or 4 days? You know, even let's say a week. Has anybody gone and said, I'm going to not have my mail come to the house, and I'm going to stop delivery for you to go and be gone for max a week? First of all, who has time to do that? You must live in a shitty area too. Yes, no, not max a week, only longer. Yeah, like if you're going on vacation for a week, would you ever go to the post office and say, do not deliver mail to my house? For a week. For a week. For a week. Well, lo and behold, Jennifer Drake did. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you're going out of town for a week. And you texted your one neighbor and said, hey, we are 20 minutes from our destination. I forgot to ask you, if you would please check our front porch every evening. There are 2 Christmas packages that did not arrive on time. So we'll probably show up while we are gone. Thank you again for keeping watch for us. But don't worry, we canceled the mail from being sent. But if Mary Kay can go pick up packages, why can't Mary Kay just pick up the damn mail? Like, the fuck? Or maybe, does Mary Kay even know what she truly got off that fucking porch? I just thought that's weird. Like, wait, someone's going to your house anyways. Why aren't they just picking up the mail and picking up the package? No, I'm going to go to the post office and cancel any of, I just canceled getting any mail. I do vacation holds all the time. You can do them online in a moment. Well, I mean, if I'm going to be saying something, can you go to my porch every single night? I forgot to ask if you could please check our front porch every evening. Can you please check our porch every evening? You got it. I'm on it. Don't you got tracking, bitch? Let me know when it gets there. I'll go pick it up. The fuck? Okay. So now Isaac Funderburg made a comment about a car. that I want to show everybody. This is straight from his mom's Facebook page. And I was going through it, and I said, what is that? What is that? That is one of those Ford older model vehicles, black rims with obviously all black tinted windows, and literally what the vehicle was that Isaac was trying to describe. Like a black Impala type. And then he was like a Ford Camry, like it was like an old school with a slanted window down. Found that puppy. Very interesting, huh? Very interesting. They have a car just like that. Okay. Now for some of this order. All right, so on all right, so here we go. Take a look at this shit. Accurate time. That is an 8. So it's 6:49 and 27 seconds the night of the murder. 6:49 and 27 seconds. Truck. Sheriff's vehicle. Heading this way and up over here is Brian Drake's office. This is a still shot. Okay. 6:49. This is from Community Thrift, the thrift store. 6:49. 6:50 and 22 seconds. The van that was at Dr. Moore's earlier that day. Okay. 6:50 and 22 seconds. A Bonners Ferry Police SUV. 6:50 and 32 seconds. So this is how it would look on the road. Now they're one behind the other. So you have the truck, the Boundary Sheriff's vehicle, the van, Bonners Ferry SUV, 6:50 and 32. Right there. I have another close-up of that vehicle, but 6:52 in 1 second. Truck, tan truck, because it made a loop and now it's going back through. This is a tan truck. Okay, again, this is all 6:50, 6:49, 6:52. What time is Lana telling you the crime is occurring? Okay. Next up. Those vehicles are heading towards Drake's. Next up. Okay. 7:04 exactly. This is the across the way. This is the car wash. This vehicle here is identical in description of Brian Drake's vehicle. And a female gets out and she's right there. Facing this way, because they came the opposite way around. This is a truck. It's a very distinctive truck. These two cars get to this self-serve car wash almost instantaneously at the same time, right? At 7:04. This is Stephen Hartman, the first suspect. He is walking away, like he's walking south. There's a picture of him, so you can see him on camera at 7:04. Two vehicles still there. There's the girl. It's a female. Then at you could see the vehicles are then gone, and the truck comes out this way. I have it recorded. I'm going to show you. The truck comes out this way, but that vehicle goes the back way. Okay, that vehicle goes the back way, and that vehicle is not seen on a Liberty camera, which would be my vision to be able to see that it would come out on El Paso, and it's not. Okay. And then at 7:11 and 17 seconds, this Impala with it has a line, like, like the, what do they call them, trim, a line that goes across, it's black. I don't fucking know the words of that shit. 7:11 and 17 seconds. This is the vehicle that would be seen. There's a close-up of it. Okay. This vehicle is seen at Les Schwab across the street. And what Isaac is talking about, it was weird and shit like that. That's that vehicle. That's what I believe that vehicle is at 19, 15, and 32 seconds. That vehicle was circling all around. So here it is at 7:11. And then what they were trying to tell us is that the Les Schwab cameras, they believed, were off an hour. But I don't believe that they were. Because that vehicle is then going to be seen on Les Schwab cameras going over there and helping, like, the car that has its hood up and dealing with that stuff, and it shows that it's happening at 7:32. Okay. Next. There's just another picture of it and how it looks when it's leaving, and you guys are going to love it. Wait for this. Woo-wee. All right, so there's that. And then remember, I told you guys I wanted to get to the bottom of it if it was a cop car that was behind, sitting by the liquor store, and if that was a cop car. So when this car pulls out at 7:31 and 30 seconds, I noticed that it makes a very interesting glare on the side of the vehicle based on the lights. Okay, based on the lighting. And I'm able to get a still image and see that's the car. So it was pulling away right here. And then when it turns, so see, like, see that van vehicle. And I'm able to get it once it's on its side and the light is hitting. and it has that type of a reflection that looks like it was a cop car. And that looks very similar to the vehicle then when I'm able to enhance on the other side, that's the vehicle that was then sitting behind and waiting when it's following out Eldora's car. It's not a cop car. It's this car. Because I was able to enhance it. But more importantly, I then have, before this is all happening at 1931, I had that van again making another pass before that at 17. So it's like at 724. Okay. And all these cars are working in concert with the other one. And then here it is back again, 1731 and 44 seconds, which is right after the car, that white Impala looking car pulled out at 1931 and 30 seconds, 1931 and 44 seconds. And last but not least, there is Stephen Hartman walking back, 1931 and 11 seconds. He has not met with Isaac Funderburg yet, okay? And remember, when he meets with Isaac Funderburg, which is going to be in that 732, 733 range, he sees Isaac Funderburg coming back, and he had his gray car with his 2 dogs, and he was carrying stuff in. Okay. And this then lines up perfectly when he's walking. So there's a timestamp. And so if Isaac Funderburg would have already went to the store like, you know, he did, there's no way at 726 that you were hearing a gunshot, okay, at 726, and thinking that you're going to cross paths. Because he went across at 728, he goes, turns around, he's looking back there, but he doesn't come from across this way. He's in the glass shop parking lot. When he comes back in Parks, which is at 732, because he's seen on Liberty camera, which is right here at 734, Isaac Funderburg had already went to the store. That's his time. Yeah, he came way after the gunshot. Remember? So this blows up the whole narrative that anybody was shot at 726. Okay? How would he not be number one suspect and stay number one suspect? Because he's walking by it at 705 up there and he's coming back. He could have totally been the shooter. All of this shit that's going on is wild, but it all proves lies. It all proves like absolute lies, but it also proves what I'm saying, which is that glass shop parking lot was on fire from 6:45 until 7:05. Like literally on fire. Like there was constant cars, and these cars, these ones that I'm showing you, okay? And there was an ambulance, as well as I just showed you the police that were right there when it happened, when the time frame I'm telling you it happened. And then this ambulance literally is just driving up and down this street. I've never just known an ambulance to just be driving if there isn't a call. 1917. Literally is about to pass Drake's right as what's her tits is alleging that this happened, or that the phone call happens. And that he's shot at 726 stuff. But all of this stuff, you're going to have to answer to this. Okay? Because this is way more like, this is when this shit happened. And the only person that can say that there's 2 people, Eldora Gatchel and Jennifer Drake, are the only ones that are alleging that Brian Drake was alive until 7:16 at least, because that's when I have Eldora leaving, right? But I'm putting Eldora there at the time of the shooting. So whether or not Eldora knows or did it, she definitely knows what the fuck went on. And it wasn't back cracking. Okay. Brian has 0.8 or 0.08 alcohol content in his system. Every single patient testified or reported, not testified, spoke on the fact that Brian Drake did not smell like alcohol. I would have noticed if Brian Drake was drinking all day and he's working on me and getting in close proximity of me and working me out. Okay. But they want to sell so hard that Brian Drake was drinking while he was taking his patients. And that's why his BAC was where it was. Well, no. Why couldn't he be drinking with Eldora and Eldora's brother from Hawaii and having drinks because they haven't seen each other in a month? Doesn't that make way more sense? It does to me. Especially when you have all the patients saying that this never happened. Like, meaning I didn't smell any alcohol on him. Also, you didn't test any of these water bottles that you said had it. Now, those of you guys that have been following me, after Drake's murder, which was in March of 2020, this investigation, they had to let it drag out, okay? Because otherwise the pieces would have been able to have been put together really, really quick. And things would have been able to go and been gotten. If you went and gotten more right away, okay? You get a lawyer on it right away, they get an attorney on it, and they get their PIs and blah, blah, blah. But if you wait 6 months to go and arrest somebody, fuck, man. How am I supposed to go get shit that's not going to be there anymore? No cameras, no this, no that, right? No. So why in the world is everybody associated with this case dying? I did a live about the 911 call not existing and proving that it doesn't exist. Literally a week or two later, Tevis Hall, the lead prosecutor in this case, found dead on the side of the road in his car, and they said it was that he had a heart attack. No autopsy was done. Now I'm gonna pull up something to show you guys about a murder that happened in just 6 months after Brian Drake. This is all about blaming more so that you control the narrative of the motive. Okay. But I want to show you. Okay. Ready? Ready. Two charged in connection with Hearst slaying. See this one right here? Gattens, Gattens. Okay. See this guy right here? Mauser. A Sandpoint woman and a Bonner County man have been charged in connection with the shooting death of Brandon Van Hurst. Cantrip is charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and Scott Catchell is charged with accessory to murder for allegedly dumping Hurst's body down a steep embankment. Gattens, 28, is accused of conspiring with Neil Mauser to kill Hurst on November 21st. This is 2020. The criminal complaint alleges Gatton lured Hurst to a remote area where Mauser was armed and laying in wait in order to assassinate Hurst. Listen to this. Gattens made an initial appearance in Bonner County Magistrate Court Wednesday via video conference with the jail. $750,000 bond. Gatton asked to speak to the court, but her defense counsel advised against making any remarks during the brief proceeding. Catchell, 62, appears to be the subject of an arrest warrant. An additional arrest warrant has also been issued for Mauser, 59, charging him with the first-degree murder of Brandon Hurst. The U.S. Marshals have been contacted and are working to apprehend Mauser, by the way. Hurst's body was discovered by a man jogging with his son on December 10th. His body was partially wrapped in a camouflage tarp. Interesting. In a utility sled used to haul firewood and blah, blah, blah. The body was positively identified December 14th. He had multiple gunshot wounds to his neck, rib cage, forearm, and both hands. Probable cause affidavit said. Now, Gattens is described in court. I mean, that's a lot of shots, right? Another of Gatten's suitors, and they're keeping his name out. This was Van Etten, is his name. Jacob Van Etten. Told Bonner County Sheriff's investigators that Gattens directed him to drive her to Spokane, Washington. While en route, the man said Gattens expressed anger at Hurst for allegedly hitting her and accused Hurst of being a police informant. The witness, who was being held at the Boundary County Jail on an unrelated warrant at the time of his questioning, told investigators he believed they were going to pick someone up in Spokane to exact vengeance on Hurst by beating him. Mauser believed, the older guy, believed that Brandon Hurst ratted on him and that he was the reason he was in jail, in prison. After picking up Mauser in Spokane and heading back to Bonner County, the witness told detectives he became aware of Gattens and Mauser's plan to kill Hurst. Van Etten was made aware of this driving back. The witness said he pleaded with them not kill Hurst, prompting Mauser to allegedly say the decision has been made. The trio passed Catchell's property in the 200 block of Lewis Lane and turned onto Kirby Creek Road, a route which connects to Gatchell's place via trails that have been cut into the woods. Gattens and the witness walked to Catchell's property while Mauser stayed behind, court documents said. Gattens called Hurst to help her repair her vehicle. Hurst and Gattens later arrived at the location in a Chrysler PT Cruiser that Hurst was driving. That PT Cruiser is all over the cameras, by the way. The witness told investigators that he opened the hood of his vehicle to simulate engine trouble. Mauser emerged from the tree line, approached the PT Cruiser while Hurst sat in the front seat and opened fire with an unspecified firearm. I found out it was 38. Mauser, the witness said, pulled Hurst from the vehicle and dumped him in the snow. Mauser then departed the PT Cruiser, which was Brandon Hurst's car. When the witness and Gattens went to leave, the beams of the headlights of the vehicle they were in flashed onto Hurst's body, and Gattens allegedly remarked that it appeared Hurst was still alive, the detective's affidavit said. Witness said he drove Gattens to a sober living residence in Sandpoint, and he returned to Gatchell's property in the hope that Hurst was still alive, according to the affidavit. The witness said he led Gatchell to the body of Hurst, who appeared to be dead. The witness told investigators that Gatchell loaded the body into the utility sled, which was hitched to the back of an all-terrain vehicle that Gatchell rode off on. The PT Cruiser Hurst was using was found abandoned in Spokane and located in a storage lot in Spokane on December 18th. Blood splatter was found on the steering wheel, driver's side door panel, and driver's side seat. Gatchell was interviewed on December 21st. Now, I want to show you guys the next piece. So, that's your shooter. That's the girl. Okay. Now, take a look. In October, before this happened, Border Patrol seized $2.16 million. Okay. See all that shit? Look at this date. October 27, 2020. Local U.S. Border Patrol agents seized 5 duffel bags of narcotics valued at $2.16 million, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. It is the largest amount of drugs seized in pounds and monetary value since 2009 in Boundary County. The arrest stems from a report of suspicious activity on a remote Forest Service road passed along to U.S. Border Patrol. An agent who responded to the area, again, suspicious activity. Who reported this? An agent who responded to the area located 2 individuals who were concealing themselves. As the agent approached the individuals, the pair fled into Canada, leaving behind what they had at the location, including the 5 duffel bags. When they were opened, agents discovered the bags contained 84 pounds of cocaine, valued at $1.2 million, and 198 pounds of methamphetamine, valued at $960,000. The seizure of the narcotics was done exclusively by U.S. Border Patrol agents. Now, it's interesting that U.S. Border Patrol would be used in the Brian Drake case. Okay? Why? Why was the FBI used in the Brian Drake case? This was just some local v. local hit. Local v. local. Chiropractor taking another chiropractor. The FBI is involved. And Border Patrol. Let me continue. Now, the seizure of the narcotics was done exclusively by U.S. Border Patrol agents who subsequently asked Idaho State Police help find a dark-colored Range Rover observed leaving the area. Range Rover. All right. How do you know it was a Range Rover and not a Land Rover? I'm just curious. So they asked Idaho State Police help finding a dark-colored Range Rover. The driver of the vehicle was spotted along US 95 by law enforcement and taken into custody in connection with the alleged narcotics smuggling. The 2 individuals who fled back into Canada were apprehended by Royal Canadian Mounted Police and are being held for further questioning into this investigation. The Drug Enforcement Agency is collaborating with Border Patrol to assist with pending criminal charges against the suspect apprehended along with the suspects arrested by Canada's law enforcement. Do you know that there is nothing else? Nothing else is reported on this? Do you know what Isaac Funderburg said? That there was duffel bags up along the side of the building. You guys remember that in his little interview? Do you know where Brian Drake was heading when he was canceling appointments and acting like whatever the fuck was going on? He was going up into Canada. He deleted text messages that said, when you cross over, it says, "Welcome to Canada" shit. Now, Jacob Van Etten's phone was pinging on the towers during 7 and 8 p.m. Go back to Hector here. Jacob Van Etten updated his profile picture of November 6, 2019. Gina Spain, Ireland. Isaac's mom. Okay. Jacob Van Etten, December 1st, 2019. I about saw this and passed out. David Wiley shits deep. David Wiley would allegedly jump in front of a train on the eve of Thanksgiving. He lived where Sean Hellspurs lived. Gatton's friends with Sean Hellspurs. selling drugs, all these people involved with the drugs. Kent trip right there, July 16th, 2020. Coronavirus looks like this, huh? You look good. Live to. He's dead. He's dead. Prison. Informant. Whatever you want. She can get you. Isaac, Spain, Ireland is the witness. The witness that lied. What was going on in the glass shop parking lot? What was going on with the glass shop? What do you think they were all doing over there? What do you think was going on over there? Tavis Hall dead. Caleb Kakoa Nazara dead. Everybody dead. And y'all want to see this was a chiropractor v. chiropractor killing? Well, I don't know who the fuck is buying that in Idaho, but I sure as fuck hope the jury ain't. Any questions? Glass shops, pawn shop, framing Alibi, Idaho off the chain. Idaho's off the chain. They would rather frame an innocent doctor and allow an innocent doctor to be framed than talk about any of this stuff, right? And I'm not, this isn't a conspiracy. Okay, guys, this is not. This is facts. This shit is facts. These cameras are facts. Jennifer Drake's phone records are facts. Brian Drake's phone records are facts. Jennifer Drake explaining what the fuck she was doing with thousands upon thousands of dollars being deposited into her PayPal account for the murder of her husband. I'll ask her the question. Stop throwing softballs up to that girl. But to sit here and try to pass it along that a local chiropractor who was making, oh my God, 10 times what that motherfucker was making, Brian Drake. There ain't no patient stealing going on. The only person that's stealing patients was Brian Drake. Brian Drake was stealing patients. Brian Drake was giving people massages without a massage license. Brian Drake was miserable. Brian Drake was being monitored 24/7 by his wife. Brian Drake was trying to duck the monitoring of his wife by trying to disable his locations. He was not hiding from Dr. Moore. He was hiding from his wife. I have no idea what the people in Idaho are doing because you guys are all watching this. I know you are. When I'm talking about the people in Idaho, I am specifically talking about the Boundary County people, the Bonner County people. You guys are electing people in positions and y'all know. So then just do the right thing when it comes to people going on trial for stuff. If they want to be corrupt, let them. But we, the people, get to actually be the jurors, right? So that's what we can control. So if you're afraid to say something because you're so scared of these people in high power positions, awesome. Don't say a fucking word. But by God, when you are called to be on a jury, do the right thing. Don't look the other way. And these lawyers, these fucking lawyers, these defense attorneys, stop protecting the prosecutors and these corrupt cops. This investigation into the murder of Brian Drake, there was no investigation. We're listening to soap operas on these fucking tapes. Saying that the murder happened at 7:26 when nothing corroborates that. Absolutely nothing. The word of a fucking narcissistic, fucking Craigslist addicted hoe. That's what I think. And I'm pissed because I'm a U.S. citizen here. And I'm not going to stand by and let another U.S. citizen who I think she's a danger to be around children. I have no idea what that woman's involved in. That woman is psycho. That woman lies about the stupidest shit. But you lie about stupid shit because it isn't stupid shit. Jennifer Drake needs to answer these fucking questions. Because now we got Stephen Minner with a goddamn license to drive around big trucks, and I don't want him anywhere near my state. I don't want that woman anywhere near my state. You're telling me, Aaron says. I'm from Minnesota. I've been down. You guys, seriously, don't. It's sick. This is sick. Nobody goes from fucking literally bouncing checks to buying $400,000 houses, a $40,000 expedition, and a $15,000 Murano, all within 3 weeks of each other. Everybody, Lando, what do you think, Kevin? What's your opinion? Brian Drake was involved in something, okay? And this was not a cover-up because he's putting his dick where it doesn't belong, okay? That's not what this is. Eldora Gatchel was there. Her brother was there. The niece was there. Why do you say that, Lana? They left at 7:16. Awesome. Because I believe with this investigation that I've done, Brian Drake was 100% killed way before 7:16, which means they were there. And I don't believe that Brian Drake talked to Jennifer Drake from 7:17 to 7:26. There's no evidence of that. There's evidence of phones communicating, but there's no evidence that Brian Drake made that phone call. And there's no evidence that Jennifer Drake was on that phone call. Because when Jennifer Drake had to turn around and call 911 right after that phone call from that cell phone, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And then I went as far as to get the FOIA requests on all the 911 calls made on 3/12/2020 in Kootenai County. And not a single one of them is from anybody remotely calling about a man that was shot in Bonner at his office. That Kootenai County call does not exist. Yet there's a copy of it. There's a recording of it. So it's like, how does that happen? Well, let's ask Detective Van Leuven where the fuck he got that recording from that he just miraculously puts in discovery. And then they had such a hard time at the preliminary hearing trying to get a 911 call in. I was loving it when I was like, look at these fucking fools. Look at these idiots. Well, who are we going to call to the stand to get the 911 call in? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And what is Tavis Hall? Tavis Hall knows because he's shuffling stuff around. He's like, oh, maybe it's not working because of this and da-da-da. Well, Tavis Hall knows. And then what happens? Lana does an episode on it and blasts it, and Tavis Hall's dead within a week to 2 weeks. And it literally dead. Nobody knew anything about that 911 call. I put it out, and then Tavis Hall, the lead prosecutor, is literally dead in a week. What do you think about that? It's just a coincidence. Lana talks about a 911 call in a serious murder case that's coming up and having a huge ass trial that's going to be treated like a mini criminal case. And I break the news about the 911 call. And hey, I caught you guys. Hey, I caught you guys. And then the Tavis Hall, the lead prosecutor in this case, is on the side of the road in his vehicle, and they said that he had a massive heart attack while driving. I said, bullshit. I don't believe that, but that's fine. And his wife, if she doesn't want to do an autopsy, it's her choice. She's going to collect, money and be able to take care of the kids, and it's a really sad story. But for him to die after releasing that information, and everybody just looks the other way. If Jennifer Drake can't act like she knows about affairs, she can't say that they're broke. She can't say that they're having money problems. She can't say anything like that, okay? Because what does that do? That gives motive, okay? So she goes in there and has her little talk with the copycats and just plays the, dingbat role of, am I just so naive? And then here's Gary Tolson's just taking it, yeah, like buying it all. And telling her that, well, I think that, Brian was doing some stuff that you didn't know about. You think so, Gary? Well, then, Gary, if you thought that, why, when you called the life insurance people, when they asked you to release the fact that she was not a person of interest or a suspect, you said, no one's been, you wouldn't release that. But when Van Leuven was called, or he called them on the same day, he said, oh, she's been nothing but cooperative, and we don't think that she's, we don't think that she has any involvement in this. How does Van Leuven make that? Like, what? 3 weeks? She was calling. That woman literally called the life insurance people before her husband's body was off the ground. That is a fact. Her husband's body was still laying on the ground. And at the very least, Brian Drake, we can all agree to this. That's fine. He's dead at 7:26. Let's say if I give you that. Awesome, great. How are you going to explain the fact that none of the cameras add up to anybody saying they did what they did? What are you going to say then? How are you going to handle that one? You can't. Why didn't you go get Super One cameras? What are you going to say? What are you going to say on the stand? We just didn't think that it was important. Well, why were you there then? Why was Leslie Lehman and Rich Alderson at Super One if they didn't think the Super One cameras were important on March 13th. They knew they were important. And then I think it's hilarious that you think that you're going to say that the coffee shop didn't have cameras or that they weren't working or that they didn't record. I have 3 witnesses that gave me the stills, gave me the screenshots that 100% they recorded, and they recorded that night because Idaho State Police went to the owner and said, hey, when we were reviewing your cameras, we noticed that we think someone's stealing toilet paper. And then sure as shit, what is there? There's text message exchanges about people stealing toilet paper and being like, no, I was taking it from the other closet and putting it into another closet because the guy owns multiple places. But how would Idaho State Police know any of that took place that night if they didn't review cameras? Recorded cameras. Marty Ryan, you lied. Idaho State Police, you lied. What the fuck are you people doing? And where's all your interviews with all of the people that worked at the coffee shop? Because all of those people told you that there's cameras and that they record. There's not going to be one single person that you have talked to that said that those cameras didn't record. Who the fuck has cameras and them not record? Who has a gun shop without cameras? You tell me if you were on this jury right now, how you could possibly convict Dan Moore. How would you convict Dan Moore? There was no investigation done. Jennifer Drake can't even be taken off in cuffs. Nobody, not a police officer, nobody could be taken off in cuffs with this homicide because there was no investigation done. Why is the FBI involved? Why would the FBI be involved in a case like this? A Studio 54 in Idaho, I almost wet myself, something like that. Why wasn't Aaliyah Sandilan's cell phone got? Why? Where's Isaac's phone records where he called 911? Where's Aaliyah's phone records? They supposedly switched phones. He's supposedly just driving all. I mean, and then here's a good one for you. How does a dead man named Brian Drake open up his phone and look at his text messages at 8:17 and 8:18 if he's dead? You guys do know what Celebrate is, right? Celebrate will tell you when you take the download, it's going to show you every message that was either unread or read. Well, according to the police, Brian Drake's phone just laid there on the floor. Nobody touched it. Nobody did anything with it. Okay. Well, that would be a lie. Celebrate says otherwise. Celebrate says that Brian Drake's 8:17 and 8:18 text message that his son sent him, I love you, and then Papa, was open and read. But that the 9:52 one text, like the texts that came in after that, 9:52, but how does an 8:17 and an 8:18 text message get read with a guy that's dead laying on the ground? How does that happen? Well, let me tell you how that happens. Somebody other than that guy opens it up, and his name is Detective McClellan. Detective Dave McClellan, I'm calling you out, and I believe that you opened up that man's phone when Marty Ryan told you to go into that office at that exact fucking time. and you opened up his phone. And I believe all logic points to the fact this was all done before 9:52 when the next text message came in. But all it would truly take is for this data to be sent to someone like a Michael Sturgis and him just destroy it in a second, in a month, and tell me a hell of a lot. Fuck, Scott Roeder went ahead and said that bullet, that came from inside out. Science will prove that. So if you were on the jury, I would like you guys to write in chat right now. If you were on the jury and you saw the reenactment where Scott Roeder shoots it through the inside and then shoots it through the outside and then compares his inside and outside to what we all see there in their photos, and you guys have to play the matching game, and you say, connect the line to the matching one. Like, I'm trying to make this as dumb as possible for Idahoans, because all I've been told is that Idahoans will not be able to follow this in a courtroom. And I said, how? It's not their, like, I don't think you're giving Idahoans enough credit. I mean, I'm not saying they're the smartest, but I said, okay, well then I think playing the matching game is pretty dumb. We can dumb it down like that. How would you like that? Like, we'll play the matching game. And you're going to notice that the photo at Dr. Drake's office looks nothing like what a glass being, like the same glass window being shot from the inside to the outside. Pick the one that you think it matches. Oh, looks like that one. Oh, imagine that. That's from someone standing inside. Yay, matching game. So how, if you were, I just need your guys' help. You guys would make up the jury pool. What do you need to see? What do you want to see to come back with a verdict of not guilty for Dr. Dan Moore? You're on the jury. What do you need to see? Right, they're the ones that have to put the case on to say that Dan Moore did this. Well, and they have a truck that's going to be circling around Dr. Drake's office at a time of 7. They're going to have a white truck circling around at 7:14 and at 7:18. And then they're going to say he parks his truck and then he walks on over there because then he's going to shoot him at 7:26. Okay. And so their whole theory revolves around this murder taking place at 7:26 p.m. Okay. Because why? Because Jennifer Drake called 911 at 7:29, 7:31, something like that. Okay. Because Jennifer Drake said that Brian Drake told her that he was shot through the window. Okay. It's like pretty cut clear, right? Yes, timeline and truth, Anna. Anna's specialty. Debunk the timeline and I vote not guilty. Right? That's it. Time of death and manner or cause and alibi and picture graph of the characters around the time. Where was Moore at the time of the shooting? Well, what time was the shooting? He has an alibi witness as the coroner. And his witness that passed the polygraph says that Dan Moore was with me. We heard the page come in. After the page came in and went over the scanner, that's when Dr. Moore had left. Like, they had already heard that, and then he left after that. Coroner passes a polygraph. I would just need to see Lana's amazing work and Scott's reenactment, right? I'm really asking you guys because I need your help. I need your help to tell me, like, proving that Jennifer Drake never made a 911 call at 7:29. Don't you think that's pretty damaging? I think that's pretty damaging. If I was sitting on a jury and I'm like, wait a second, I thought this broad called 911. What the fuck? Where's the 911 call? There's no 911 call. Well, there is, but it doesn't originate in Hayden. I'm like, oh, where did it originate? What's all this, Sleuthie? What's good? Oh, yeah, you want to help? I'm here for you guys because I need your help. Welcome, new members. Please thank your gifter. Oh, yeah. Is there some people that, oh, was that Sherry D? Fuck yeah, baby. I better see more in his car at the time or his phone data. Okay. You don't see more in his car at the time, but I think, Aaron, the most important thing that we have to get there is to say, okay, what time was the crime, right? 7:20. So the state's going with 7:26 p.m., right? And Lana, with evidence, is saying between 6:47 p.m. Remember, there's 2 shots, and 7 p.m. So 7:26 is their time. Atlanta, with evidence, is saying that the shooting was at 6:47 p.m. to 7 o'clock. Sleuthy goes green. Woohoo! Oh, yes, Sherry. Back-to-backer. Love a back-to-backer. So, and the reason I was able to come to this is there's car evidence with it, but it really truly holds a lot of weight with the eyewitnesses, and them saying when Steve Hartman came back that, oh, he's like, oh God, I don't know. When he came walking by and Isaac talked to him after coming back from the store, I'm like, wait, he went to the store too? Well, how does a guy see and witness a crime at 7:26 by gunshots, drive around looking for this person, then make it all the way to Super One store, get mustered, then come back, and that all happened in 3 minutes? That's impossible. But it's not impossible if you circle back and take a look at everything that was happening earlier. And when you do that, it's very evident that when Aaliyah Sandlin says, yeah, no, the walker came was 30 minutes after the first shot. So then they're even admitting that there was 2 shots. And then I said, fuck it. Would you guys like it if I can prove that there was a gunshot hole in the window, or not the window, but the wall of Far North Coffee? Would that help you guys out? So when Aaliyah Sandlin says, yeah, when he came back, if she doesn't use the words come back because she didn't know that he even walked that way. He was just walking this way. She says, oh, he arrived and was talking to Isaac after Isaac came back from the store, and that was like 30 minutes after the first shot. Well, at 7:32, he's seen on camera right there, and you subtract 30 minutes, you're looking at 7 o'clock. But I would promise you this, if the shots were at 7:26 and she sees this man walking and talking to her fiance because she's right there at the porch and hearing everything, she would never say that, oh, that man has nothing to do with it because he arrived just 5 minutes after the shots. She's like, no, he arrived like 30 minutes later. And so I took all the timestamps, and that right there alone, I mean, and then you have to ask yourself, so would you want them to tear apart the investigation? Come on, you Idaho people, I know you guys are all watching. What do you need to see? Because there's 50 different million ways to defend somebody. What do you think is going to give you reason to say that Dan Moore is not responsible for the death of Brian Drake? You guys think that Dan Moore should cough over millions of dollars to Jennifer Drake? It is a wrongful death civil trial, and then it was a counterback, and it's going to be like a mini criminal case because none of the criminal stuff ever happened because there was no criminal trial. Bam, gifted myself. Oh, wow, my lucky day. Woohoo, Marsha D. Woo, Rock Chalk 5, green ones. All the bells. All the bells. So, Jennifer Drake decides to file. None of this would have ever came out had she not filed. Love y'all, gotta go. Oh, Miss Potts, when are we gonna go shopping together? Jennifer Drake files a civil. Lisa, okay, so check this out. Now, I said that, well, isn't it the Moore sued for defamation? Because Jennifer Drake's running around saying that, oh my God, we know who did this, and we know blah, 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 all the stuff that she's saying. And I'm like, dude, at the very least, this has to be economic disadvantage. Like, she was telling people basically that Moore's going back to work, and she was trying to not get people to go back and see him. Don't you think that Jennifer Drake's lie about how her husband was not shot through a window, that's what caused and put all this emotion, and her lies to the police in interviews, and her lies, if she is knowingly saying something that she's knowing not to be true, like she knows her husband was not shot through a window, but she tells the police that, don't you think that if I felt that way during a civil case, I'm going to fine for Dr. Moore? Because had this woman not ever lied that, and when she called 911 to say that he was shot through the window, okay, these idiots in Idaho that are police officers could have never went with, yeah, Moore then parked his truck, got out of his truck, then ran over to the office and then shot him through the window. And then everyone's gonna be like, wait, didn't Moore confess to this crime, Lana? Yeah, after he was threatened. And he's never been in trouble in his life. He thought that his lawyer would be able to, hey, I didn't fucking do this, man. I asked for a lawyer 8 times. If you are going for first degree, that's the death penalty. Or, hey, didn't you just mean to scare him? Say this. Say what we're telling you to say, and he'll be home for Thanksgiving dinner in 5 years. Or don't play with us, and we're at your house. We have a search warrant, and we're going to tear apart that house. And I think we already found a gun in your son's room. And we're going to charge your friend with conspiracy to commit murder. Your alibi, the coroner. Unfucking believable, right? But I get it. As a juror, you're like, wait, this man confessed? Yep, guys, he confessed. A 63-year-old man confessed. A chiropractor who should be educated, who should know what? How to fucking crack backs. Not think that cops are going to go out there railroading good-ass people. He didn't even have a speeding ticket in his life, not even a parking ticket, nothing. How? But hey, we have to have that. The narrative of the work is why this happened. Because if you don't have that as your narrative, then you're going to look and see what Dr. Drake and his family was involved in. And that's what cannot happen. So I believe the evidence is there that proves who would drive around. What if Dr. Moore wanted to come out and say, I'm a nosy motherfucker? Hell yeah, I heard those gunshots and I was driving my truck around there afterwards. Who wouldn't? I know I would. If there was, come on, man, if there's gunshots going off and you're not going to go try to check it out. I would. Whoop, whoop. It's Kim's birthday. Happy birthday, Kim in the house. Happy birthday. Well, you got a good one here because I just added a shit ton. And Travis Stoley thinks that he won some great election. Let me just tell you something. He ran unopposed. Okay, so the primaries was everything. Because guess what? Idaho doesn't even have a Democrat running. I want to go in Idaho and I want to run for sheriff. And I'm going to run as an independent. But Travis Stoley thinks that he won some big election. I'm laughing my ass off over here. The election's in November. But there's no Democrats in Idaho, I guess. I don't fucking know, man. I just can't. I can't. Atlanta 2024. I don't need a running mate. Atlanta for sheriff. Look out. How long do I have to live in Boundary County to become sheriff over there? So yeah, I need all of your guys' help. I want to know what you guys think as far as this is the state's case. This is what Jennifer Drake's going to go forward with. It's very simple. You confessed to my husband's murder, okay? Even though it was thrown out, even though it was a false confession, even though it doesn't match the evidence. So that was a part of my thing. Okay, so she's going to say, you confessed to my husband's murder. Okay, great. I'm going to put on Van Leuven on the stand. I'm going to put on whoever the fuck else, the guy to say that I tried to blow up myself and my commit suicide like 4 days after. Okay, yeah. What else? Oh, and then some girl on YouTube started fucking covering this case because the IDAHO4 murders. So then she started covering my case, and it's all your fault, Dan and Karen Moore. The fuck? I've been covering IDAHO4 since 2022, yo. I've been covering cases since 2020, yo. My own significant other can't control what I'm going to say. Nobody can. I don't get paid to do shit. I am out here for the truth. There's nothing. He confessed to a crime, okay? But he confessed to the complete incorrect crime, which is like number one in false confessions. If the evidence doesn't support the confession, you're fucked as far as the police. Like, go forward with that. So that's where Scott Roeder came in. And guess what? It doesn't support it. Because Brian Drake wasn't shot through any window. Because that window is not indicative, any piece of it scientifically, nor crime scene where everything should be, of that window was shot from the outside in. In fact, it shows that it was shot out from the inside out. Well, Lana, who told everybody that he was even shot through why did they even think that? Well, the guys, when they first got there, they didn't think that. The person who said that was his wife on the 911 call. Because that's what Lana has really wrecked all their days. Because that's what they said. She said, wait, the cops never corroborated that? Fuck no. No. Lana. Love you, lady. If you ever need anything, please reach out. I have much love for your work over 2 years now. I love, where you been? Yeah, Rock Chalk, love it, true crime. Basketball all day, baby. I'm hot over this shit, man. I'm doing FOIA requests and the damn head of Boundary County. That's who got back to me. Not some, little pencil pusher. No. The prosecutor got back to me. Prosecutor said, I don't even know if we have any of this stuff. I don't even know if this is in our jurisdiction, blah, blah. I'm like, something that happened on 3-9 has nothing to do with 312. Give me my shit. Oh, you're in a pool? Go get them. It's your birthday. You should be. So my brain works differently than your guys's. That's why I want to know, if you were sitting on a jury, what would you need to hear and see? So if you come out guns blazing and say, okay, number one is Detective Van Leuven You did a screen dump of, you ran a Celebrate on her phone. Where was the 911 call that she made? It's not there. Okay, then I'm sure you followed up with Kootenai County Dispatch. Where's that one? Where's a copy of that? It's not there. Okay. Then where did you get that 911 call? So you don't have any reports that you looked at to like verify that Jennifer Drake was in Hayden? No. Okay, awesome. What else? Oh, the shot through the window. How did you go about that? How did you determine if the shot came from outside in? We didn't determine it. What do you mean? We just took pictures of it. Okay. We just took pictures of it. The fuck are you talking about? You just took pictures of it. We just took pictures of it. Well, okay. What else? You had like 6, 7, 8 witnesses, or not witnesses, but suspects before Dr. Moore, right? Yep. How'd you rule them out? They just told us they were home. You didn't get their phones. Okay, now what about these witnesses, these eyewitnesses, like Isaac Bunderberg and the Elias Sandwins of the world, the Eldor Gatchels? Well, we don't think that he was killed. He was definitely killed after 7:16 because Eldor Gatchel was there and she had her appointment and then they left at 7:16. Oh, because Eldor Gatchel says that he was alive, right? Wasn't Eldora Gatchel a person of interest of yours and Caleb Pico and Azara? Because Jennifer Drake called you and said that something was weird about that? That she thought that Eldora wanted to Brian Drake? And that she thought that Eldora's husband could have killed Brian because all she does is talk about Brian? Did you look into that? How'd you look into that? We didn't do anything. Do you guys know that I wrote in to get pool cameras for the fucking trial? Leanna, you wrote in for pool cameras on a civil case? Yeah, I wrote in for, I want to be the pool camera. You think they're going to deny it? I want to live stream the trial. Why can't I live stream the fucking trial? You guys, the best part about it is that there is no 911 call on the end of Cooney County. It's fine if people want to say our cell phones don't register stuff. Awesome. I'm going to give them that. Sure. Even though on the Karen Reed case right there, 911 calls there. There is no 911 call from the Cooney County side of life. Like, I have all 48 calls and the CADs to all 48 calls. They gave me my request back and they said, Miss Oriani, we are telling you that this does not exist. This call does not exist. There is no audio recording. If we had it, we would give it to you. It does not exist. How many times are you going to ask for this? I said, well, I'm just trying to ask for it in other ways. Like, maybe it was under a different number, a different name. And she's like, we provided you with every 911 call that was made on that day to our dispatch, Cooney County Dispatch. So then who gave Detective Van Leuven a copy of a 911 call that doesn't exist? You're going to have to take that up with Idaho State Police. Yep, I did that. What about, I did that. I did them both. I did them all. Miss Oriani, that call does not exist. We've given you every call that has come in. Listen, lady, I'm just trying to do my job over here because I'm going to go out and tell the world that this call doesn't exist. And I swear to God, if you fuck me, click. No, I'm kidding. I didn't say that to her. I said, she's like, there is no audio recording. The call does not exist. I said, can I have all 48 calls? Sure. You want to pay for that? Sure. Absolutely. I want to pay for every single one of them. I want all the calls. So there is no call. And then it looks really sus when the lead detective enters into evidence on the night before the preliminary hearing at 8:30 p.m., a miraculous CD. Look at this. 8:26 p.m., the night before the preliminary hearing, a CD gets put into evidence so that it can be used on November 2nd. So November 1st of 2020. What the fuck are they doing? Wait a minute. Have you ever contacted a life insurance company? Yeah, I contact everybody. I'm just a contact and hoe. So then we get to this preliminary hearing, guys, and here's this 911 call. Van Leuven straight up says, Van Leuven doesn't put the 911 call in his even probable cause. He says that how he best determines what time the crime was when the call ended between Jennifer Drake and Brian Drake. He doesn't even say this is when she called 911 and this is what we're going to go with. He says when that call was terminated, that's the best way because it was 15 seconds before that he was hit and shot. Okay. So we go to this preliminary hearing, and in this preliminary hearing, Tevis Hall, who is dead right now and died 2 weeks after I put out the 911 call never originating in Hayden, never even happening, and they have a lot of explaining to do on where this 911 call came from. Tevis Hall dead, found on the side of the road in his SUV. A heart attack. At the preliminary hearing, they did not call the dispatcher to the stand so that she could say, my name is so-and-so. I took a call that day. Yep, that's the call. Play it. Boom. That's me. Right? Ta-da! 911 calls in evidence, right? Ta-da! Nope. Instead, you hear Tevis Hall saying, well, do you want Jennifer Drake to be in here? Do you want her sequestered? Because I'm gonna call her to the stand to introduce the 911 call. But like that's all she's gonna do. But I really want to start with Detective Van Leuven. So like, how do you want to do this? That type of shit. And Jill's like, well, I stipulated to the 911 call, like being in evidence. And I'm just like, who stipulates to something that they've never heard? Jill Bolton would have never heard this. Why are you stipulating to a call you've never fucking heard? Then everything gets fucked up. Yeah, it is definitely insurance fraud in my opinion. Oh, fuck yeah, it's insurance fraud, but that's the least of our worries. That'll come out. Yeah. This is definitely insurance fraud, okay? But I don't give a fuck about that right now. Jennifer Drake can have her $1 million. I give a fuck about that. I care about an innocent man whose life has been completely ruined, and so is his family's. Okay? Because what people would think was just some like cheating thing. This was not a cheating thing. This was they are involved in some fucked up shit thing. And there was already one murder because of the fucked up shit they were involved in. Okay? And the police just didn't do their job. We pay police to do their jobs. So it comes out of this preliminary hearing, and this is what happens. Jennifer Drake gets on the stand, and she's like, says whack shit, talking about stuff that is not relevant for the purpose of what she is supposed to be there, which is to introduce a 911 call. But then they don't even introduce this 911 call. They say, she's trying to get hearsay in, and they're objecting to the hearsay because it is hearsay. Then they just pull her off the stand. Then they put Van Leeuwenhoek up there. Then they're about to play this 911 call, and then Jill Bolton loses it, who's the attorney of Moore, and she's just like, that's not it. That's not the 911 call. And then the judge is like, oh my God, what's going on? Mr. Hall, what is going on here? Stop that right now. Stop playing. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Because I have to read this all in transcripts. I'm like, wait, I want to hear the call. What call was played? Anyways, then they take a recess. Then Tavis Hall's like, I don't know. I think it's because of the way that I labeled this. I think it's like I should have just done it with a Sharpie on top of the CD and not put a piece of paper and a sticker on top of it. But I think it's messing it up when I'm putting it into the player and there's a sticker on top to label it. What? That's why you think that your CD isn't playing? Oh my God. You can't make this shit up. Then they resume, and there's no 911 call played yet. And then Van Leeuwen is testifying, literally talking in circles. In fact, let me see here. All right. Sorry. I was looking for stuff in this fuckeridge here. Look at this. Truckity truck. It's 7:19. I'm sorry. It's that's at 6:49. 6:49. The trucks that were following each other when I showed you the with the popo. Then I'm telling you, who's this woman walking? See that woman walking? See those boots right there? See those boots right there? Now, I'm going to play you a video from my Facebook page. I want you to see. I can probably just bring it on up from going like this. Take a look at this video. If it works. All right.
At the same exact time.
Okay, ready?
These cars leave at the same exact time.
Okay, I want you to see something first. That's the...
These cars leave at the same exact time. And that car that's gonna come out there, black rims, it looks exactly like Brian Drake's Murano, and it goes back around that way. And his car was in pristine
condition. Okay. So this was at 7 o'clock.
Condition. Like it looked like it had just been
And look at that truck. Who owns that truck?
These cars leave at the same exact time. And that car that's gonna come out there, black rims, it looks exactly like Brian Drake's Murano, and it goes back around that way. And
Okay, so I'm going to show you that. So I did that, and now check this out. That's across the way. Now I said, let me just see when these arrive. Let's go like this. You guys can be the decision makers. within that time. So 16, 18. Okay, here we go. Take a look at this shit. I about fucking hit the floor. Okay. See right here, up in the corner. See somebody walked across, like watch this. Somebody walks, so this is right at 7:18, like 7 o'clock and 18 seconds. And so see how they pull up with, I'm even gonna go to the next one. Hold on one second. Make this bigger. Oh, hold on, let me do something else really quick. I'm gonna go back to right when they pull in. Okay, check this out. Here we go. I think this is something to take a look at. Take a gander. Take a little gander. Okay. So this is 6:58 and 12 seconds. See two perfectly open spots here. All right. 6:58. 6:58. Right there. See that car right there? Is that, you see that? Watch right here. That truck from behind back comes right in here. And now it's blocking everything that's going on back there, so I can't fucking see. What's going on? What the fuck is going on? Okay, then just want to show you what it looks like right before they arrive. So this truck, and you can't see, like nobody is, when that car pulls in, right here we should see somebody exit to get out of the Like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't see any movement for the next 39 seconds. I've watched it over and 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 over. But I do see the lights flash. You see that right there? Check this out. Right here, watch. Right there, off. So their lights were on. On. See, there's somebody over here. I see somebody right there. Check that out. Right there. Saw movement there. Right there. See movement there. Okay, then. Okay, so hang tight. Let me just bring up the other one. So I'm just waiting for someone to start washing this car. But there's like someone's in front of like these lights here. Okay, right there. Now they get out of the car. Now they close the door. Now look at, she walks around. See? And then she's spraying off the car. Mind you, it's March 12th at 7 o'clock at night. Spraying it off. She's back here spraying it. And there she is. Spraying it. Really getting those fingerprints off all the trunk stuff, right? Why? Because you had to open up the trunk to get to the alcohol. Because that's where Brian kept all of his alcohol. It was in the trunk, like the SUV part. And there was a, what do you call it? What are you doing? Getting them tires? I think she's still over here. Look at that. Look at it. It's a long, kind of be working on that. Look at it. What the fuck are you doing? Look at that. She over here. Right there. Back over here. Where is she? This guy's still over here. This truck. She's over here with this car. 7:04 now. So she's been doing it for 6 minutes. She's over here spraying it. Get that, yeah, get that. Okay. Now watch this stupid move. She's still going. Nope, there she is. You see her. There's Stephen Hartman. Suspect number 1, Stephen Hartman. There he is. Woohoo, Stephen! Yeah, you sexy bitch. Okay, look at. Here she goes. She done? She ready to get in? Yep. Opens the car door. Okay, what's she gonna do now? 7:05, 11 seconds. She turned on the car. Now watch this. I was like, you bastard. Pulls out. And she came in from the main highway though. Watch what she does. He leaves. Watch. There it is. See? Traveling back through there, back around there. Okay. Now, let's take a look and see what Brian's car looks like. Ready? Brian's car. See it from. Do up that first. Got it. All right. Oh. It's going to be interesting. Okay. Okay, why would the back tire have the mud? Okay. But the front tire wouldn't. Okay, do you guys see that dog too? Oh, right there. No, clean, huh? I mean, dirty. Now, they said that Brian had an alcohol in his system. So we can roll this out, right? Perfect. Now, is it all possible that Brian went to the, I don't think they had him going over there that day, though. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it there since it's Kim's birthday. We'll leave her with a good birthday. Lana, do you think that the corruption with these police officers are because Brian Drake had involvement with their wives? I see something else going on here. I do. Right before Brian got life insurance, he had like 6 tickets in a row. It was very strange, very odd behavior. But yeah, now. But I'll end this. You guys go. Stoley's a Democrat. He just registered Republican. That's awesome. What a fucker. Stoley, come help me solve the case, buddy. You know, I don't think, though, that I don't think that Brian Drake was having sex with everybody that was in that town or something like that. You guys, there's Brian Drake had his ankle busted, like beat with a baseball bat, you know, a month before his murder. So I think that's a big part of this. I think that would help in the, you know, exoneration of Dan Moore, find out where Dan Moore was on February 3rd, because I think that Brian Drake having his, you know, leg busted in with a baseball bat and then him being murdered a month later, you're going to sit there and tell me that those aren't one and the same. You're crazy. I'm going to tell you that I think you're crazy. Oh, Sarah, do I have the initial complaint and answer in the wrongful death suit? Oh yeah, I think that was already put out there. Yeah, I think the people that originally had it was like 9B News, and I got it from them. I think that's how I got it back in the day. There was only a limited window of time to get that, by the way, because then I think that you couldn't use, I don't know. I'm more focused on the criminal case. Like how was there a wrongful death suit? There wasn't even he wasn't found guilty of anything, you know. He didn't even have the opportunity to get to exonerate himself. How are you not going to give me the opportunity to exonerate myself, but you're going to go try me to try me civilly, you know, and then be put on the stand, you know? It's backwards, and Jill Bolton blew it. Jill Bolton fucking blew this case for Dr. Moore, in my opinion, and the stay should have never been lifted. She did a no. She filed a no objection to the stay of this case, the civil part of it, and she did that because she's greedy, hungry, money human being. But she could have objected when Jennifer's team wanted to lift the stay on this. Buchanan put it that this civil case could not move forward until there was a resolution, a final resolution in the criminal case. And Jill Bolton lifted it to make fucking money. And that's who the real, you know, like, that's disgusting. Why would you ever advise your clients to no object to this ever being lifted? Well, ask Jill Bolton how much money she made. Money. How much money did Jill Bolton make to take on this case? And to once it continued on from that point of the stay. That's why. Money. But Barbara Buchanan had a great ruling, and it was the right ruling. This shouldn't even be going to court. This should still be in a stay until the criminal proceeding was handled. And I'm sorry, but being dismissed without prejudice is not handled. Having a murder case over your head for the rest of your life is not handled. I'm not going to go play patty cake with fucking Jennifer Drake in a courtroom. Okay? Fuck that. That's how I would feel if I was the Moores. Fuck that. No fucking way. But poor leadership. That's my opinion. This should have been stayed. And then that's why I think I'm being even more vocal, is because of when I went and read the documents. It's in the documents. Literally go check out these documents, these filings. How the fuck do you no object? What the fuck is going on around here? You know? This case should not even be happening. Big, you want to talk about like making mistakes? It is my opinion that Jill Bolton blew this case. My opinion. Jill Bolton blew this case. Because there shouldn't even be a case going on right now. And every penny that the Moores have spent have been at the hands of Jill Bolton. Because that's the way that Jill Bolton would get paid, as if this case went forward. So how could you ever advise your clients? Like, that's actually, you're not allowed to do that. There's rules, the professional codes of conduct. And I believe this was a straight up violation. Straight up violation. I mean, that is the most ineffective assistance of counsel I think I've heard since Boone wanting to represent herself. My opinion. Jill Bolton blew this case because there shouldn't even be a case going on. And every penny that the Moores have spent should be handed right back to them. Period. Kim, I know. We'll go out there and have some fun. We'll talk to you guys on the flip side. Peace. Late. Thank you guys all for the memberships for other people. We love passing it around. Love it, love it, love it. Pass it around. Sherry D, you're awesome. You're always spreading it. Rock, Chalk, so happy to see you in here. Much love. See you on the flip side.
Like, if you need a lot of brains, you're going to be in trouble.